yeah, because it was potted up. Different reasons.
Okay.
But
you leave it open, right?
Yeah.
You hit off. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Now, Wendy's is the number one worst or best?
Worst for you.
Oh.
Okay. But I started questioning. I was like, how the hell is Wendy's worse than ice cream on Dairy Queen? Because they're number 4.
Or were they talking about the food?
I don't know, because it was like, I asked the question, like, who the hell eats food at Dairy Queen? We got a shit ton of people text in and call in. And like, who the hell eats there? What, there's food there?
Oh, yeah.
So my question, because you were talking about getting food, do you get food at Dairy Queen?
Maybe once every 2 years.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever had
it decent
there.
Kelly, were you able to start it?
Ice cream.
Sure. Yeah, it's only an ice cream place. But a ton of people texted in and called in and said that they get food there and it's better than the ice cream and better than McDonald's.
Okay, I'll try it.
So they say, you know.
So Kelly getting her parts filled with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
I was thinking about it yesterday.
Yes.
I wasn't dwelling on your parts there, Kelly.
Thanks.
I was
Appreciate that.
having stuff fiddled with professionally is
Bam, that worked.
certainly not as much
Good job.
Yeah.
right? Even if the exact same stuff was happening from a loving person, it's more fun.
Yeah, there's nothing like getting felt up by like a 70-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
Go in there and talk to Doug. It's a little like the flood.
Kelly, did you start the audio as well?
I did.
Excellent.
Should be up. Can you check?
No, we heard it already.
Oh, you did? Okay.
It's
Is it up?
like the Texas flooding. People pay a lot for whitewater rafting, but then suddenly, when it's not on your terms,
Right, it's no longer fun.
No, yeah, people they're crying about it. There's memorials. So I was comparing.
$1. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. That's money. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win on 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Ripped off. Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions. We're here to go after the bad guys, educate you, make your day just a little bit better to the tune of over $300 million. So far, in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, we got a couple deputies. Deputy D, Deputy Doc sitting to my right. We've got a great guest in studio, Chris Console. He owns DiscountBath.com. Imagine that. A contractor that actually has the balls to put the word discount in their name. Chris, I love every bit of that. I'm not kidding. And you guys have been out to our house, Suzanne and I. I love what you do. I love the ideas your people give. I love the fact that you can get a shower remodeled for less than, what, 10 grand? You guys still do that?
Yeah, that's correct. And, you know, Stephen, my business partner, keeps pushing me to put it on the air. But if you're not getting a bid from us, you're paying too much for a shower.
You're definitely paying too much for a shower. I say this, so anybody on our referral list, you're crazy not to at least get a bid from them. Call them out. There's no cost to it. And here's the other thing you'll learn about Discount Bath. These designers that come out for free can look at it. In our situation, we had a separate tub and shower. They're like, hey, if you don't use the tub, which we don't at all, you can get rid of that and expand the closet or expand anything. You can do whatever you want with it. And then just the different things you can do with the shower is crazy. You got wall systems. You've got everything you can imagine.
Yeah, we do it all. We do acrylic. We do a crushed stone. We do ceramic panels. We do tile. Complete bathroom remodels.
How about if someone wants one of those walk-in tubs? Do you guys do those?
We will do them. I'm not a huge fan, but in some cases they're the right thing.
Well, in some cases there's nothing but that. We sold one to, we had one lady, Bentley Bath, sold her 1 year ago, and she called up the show. This is no joke. And she said, this guy sold me a tub and I can't use it. It's absolutely worthless. And it was a Medicaid deal. So really our tax dollars, my tax dollars, yours, everybody paid for it. So I go out to her house and sure enough, she couldn't use it at all. Can you guess why?
The water tank wasn't big enough?
Nope. Her ass was too big.
Oh,
she was legitimately about 400 pounds.
Wow.
She could not fit through the door. She, honest to God, could not fit through it. And Bentley himself was out there and met this lady in her house. She had one of those recliners that she usually sat in that was twice as big as any recliner. She wasn't a little overweight. She was like serious 500 pounds obese. And it was remarkable that this jerk sold her something she couldn't use. We ended up getting her a hotel room, literally, just so she could shower because of this Bentley bath. But I digress. All right, 303-713-8255. Hey, any questions you got for Chris Discount Bath? Please, we did have one. We had a text question. Pete and Rose, I'm going to go to there real quick. We have one line open, 303 Martino. You have a bad contractor, bad landlord, something going on in your life. And by the way, we dropped those last two. Listen, anybody can call with problems, and we love taking problems. But that daughter-in-law or soon-to-be daughter-in-law and mother, they have a lot of issues going on. The guy's criminal past is unbelievable. Joe Lazzara looked it up. This was not their first rodeo. I feel bad for them if they're innocent, but after listening to this story, I didn't chime in today because I listened to it all day yesterday. Dragon, you heard yesterday with them, right?
Yeah, I was here.
You missed today. I just kind of sat back and Tom started from zero, and it was the same insane story. But we also found, Deputy D found an article. How long ago was that, Deputy D?
This was about 3 years ago or so out of Boulder.
3 years ago, guy's in a stolen car. He hit somebody, bodily injury, this, and he ended up in jail for quite a long time. It sounded like the same thing going on now. And here we are again, and there's just not much to it. It's kind of hard to listen to, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really hard to listen, and, it wasn't an easy read. The article also kind of delved into his criminal past also. There were some assault charges.
Was he an abuser, if you will, or not?
There was, I guess the lady in that instance, the lady in the car who was injured, she also had a restraining order against him.
Really?
Yeah, if I remember the article correctly, but he also had some assault charges.
He's got to listen, and
this
that
guy's
mother,
got a problematic life.
I feel bad for that mother. It's her kid. It's always going to be her kid. He's in his 30s, it looked like, at least back when that happened. So probably coming up on 40, but hopefully she's still listening. At some point, you probably are going to have to let him deal with what he's got to deal with. Continuing to attempt to bail him out. It doesn't look like that's happening this time, but maybe this will be his wake-up call. How many times, Chris, Doc, Dimitri, Dragon, how many times have you woken up to your second or third DUI with bodily injury and have hurt somebody else? I mean, I never have.
Zero. I'm going to go with none.
I'm going to go with none, too.
Yeah, zero.
Yeah.
So it's just like, how does this happen to one person so many times? There's something wrong. I think there's a lot of drugs involved. I really do. I mean, I could be wrong there, but there's not much we can do. We're not set up for this. At first, I thought,
how they have money to buy booze, but not gas.
Yeah, yesterday at one point they said they didn't have $20 to buy gas, but I think what they were saying, Doc, was they didn't want to give this other guy the $20. But you're right. They have bottles of booze. They're walking around. They crash a car. No one's. I totally digress.
And Mark, it was someone else's car. That's the other thing that should not be overlooked. What about the victim who lost the car to these people?
Yeah.
That person might not have the kind of insurance that would replace the car. That person might have to go to work.
Yeah, they might not. Well, of course, and people don't think about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a whole nother case. Now, there's a couple things going on here. Rose, I want to get Joe Lazzara back on to talk. Here's what I know. I'm going to pull you up real quick. But until I get our attorney up, I really just want to ask you a couple questions. One, you basically got arrested and triggered an Amber Alert. Is that correct, for kidnapping? Rose? I'm not sure if we still have her. Was she calling from the can? Do we know that, Kelly? See if you can get her back up, but I really want Joe Lazzara on for that.
Actually had to be in meetings, but he told me exactly what the defense of kidnapping is. And
well,
I put it up on the
but I want to know, is he going to be out later? Text him again to see if we can get him up, and see if we can get her back up so I can at least get some basic questions in. But man, if she got accused of kidnapping, you know how hard it is to get an Amber Alert triggered? It's not easy. I mean, they really kept that very hard to do so people don't abuse it. An Amber Alert, D, you're looking at me like you're a little puzzled. They're extremely hard. Generally, if it's like, if they think it's a runaway by any means, it's not going to happen. And if they think it's not a stranger. In other words, if they think an upset husband or an upset wife or something along those lines, they generally won't trigger it unless they think the kid's in imminent danger. I mean, it's very hard to trigger an Amber Alert. So I'd be very curious what happened there. Pete, what's going on with you? Then we're going to go to Thook from yesterday and Brian Burns. Hey, Pete, what's going on with this home insurance?
Hey, Pete, Mark.
Hey, man.
This will be a little easier than your previous call.
Oh, man, there was nothing like that one, brother. I lived through that twice, and my head still hurts.
Yeah. Hey, my daughter woke up this morning, sounded like somebody was trying to saw through her roof, but it turns out it was her next-door neighbor trying to pull his trampoline out of her roof.
Oh, my
I guess
God.
I had
So,
some bad...
wait a minute. The wind picked up? Did you guys have a bad storm? How did it get on her roof?
I don't know. I'm down south and she's up north, so she's in Commerce City. But yeah, it picked up his trampoline and it impaled her roof.
How bad's the roof?
It's just one pole came through. There, it looks like the hole's probably about 6 inches to a foot, but it comes all the way through the closet.
Oh, my gosh.
All the way through the...
So not only did it go through the drywall, it went through the decking, the sheathing, it went through the shingles.
Yeah.
That could be a lot of damage, man. I mean, what is the question here? The first thing I would do is ask the homeowner what's going on, but even more, I mean the neighbor, but even more importantly, in fact, you know what? I've got this expert on for a different call, but Brian, you just heard that. I would personally try to get the neighbor to give up their insurance, but I'm not even sure you'd have to do that. She could probably just, turn it right over to hers and then let the two insurance companies figure it out. Wouldn't that be easier?
That's exactly what I would do. I would turn it in my own insurance and let them battle it out, because there's going to have to be, the liability portion is where it's going to come into play for the neighbor.
Now, do you think, Brian, that truly would be? Think, kind of understand where I'm coming from, then tell me if you think I'm wrong. To me, that's still an act of God. In other words, if it picked up an umbrella from Highlands Ranch and blew it into Parker, Colorado, and the umbrella came through my roof, and yet somehow it had an address and phone number on it, so I knew where it came from, and, that doesn't mean they have any liability.
No, so here's where the distinction is it has to be a negligence type of a situation. So you're right. In your situation, an umbrella gets picked up. I guess you would go back and say, has this person been warned continually to stop putting the umbrella out since it's not weighted down? They've been warned about this.
Yeah.
So that would take on a different type of situation.
But Brian, this is a trampoline. I have literally seen a trampoline picked up by a horrible storm in Castle Rock years ago and dumped. I mean, I don't know how anybody would ever know that's going to happen without hurricane force winds or tornado force.
Well, you are for sure supposed to have it staked down. I mean, it needs to be a trampoline needs to be staked down. Because that does happen. I see that.
Got it.
It's not that uncommon, but if it's staked down, it makes it much more difficult for that to occur. And then that's where liability comes into play. If this is just a trampoline that wasn't staked down, there could be some liability there, because it even tells you on the instructions for those things to stake them down.
That's interesting. I never thought of that. And even worse than that, our kids had a trampoline forever, and I never staked it down. I mean, literally, they had one for probably 10 or 15 years till we basically gave it away. And we never staked it down, nor did the wind ever, pick ours up and blow it. That's kind of crazy. I never would have thought of that, Brian. So you're saying there could be some negligence.
Yeah, for sure. We have a trampoline in our backyard, and whenever I was installing it, sure enough, one of the first, at the very end of completing the construction portion of it, it tells you to stake that down into the ground, because, and I mean, as a matter of fact, my brother lives up in Deer Creek Canyon, and his trampoline was staked down, and the wind still took it, bent the stakes up, and it flew over to a neighbor's property and landed over there. It didn't hurt anybody, but it's scary. Those things can take off.
Yeah, they can. Hey, Pete, here's some good news, though. Even if she does turn it in, I assume she has homeowner's insurance, right?
Yes, she does.
Yeah, so even if she does turn it in, if she at least lives in Colorado and probably most states, her rates are not going to be affected.
They will be. Okay. Liability is a surchargeable claim. It is.
No. I'm saying no. Her house is the one that got impaled by it. The neighbor.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So I mean, if she turns it into her own insurance, Brian, and this guy did not have it staked down, then ultimately they end up paying for it, or his insurance or her insurance. This wouldn't affect his daughter's rates at all, even though she put it in on her coverage.
It will show up, so I don't want to give a false illusion. It will show up on there.
Okay.
But then it should show a subrogation, and if not, like if they came to me for quotes, let's say, if it was just some random person and this had happened to them, and they told me the story, I would say, get a letter of experience from your insurance showing what happened, and then you bring it to underwriting and say, listen, this is not a chargeable claim because it wasn't really hers, but it will show up. It will show up as a claim on her side.
So can that affect the rates? Let's say it does show up.
It can, if you don't, again, you have to be able to provide documentation to kind of explain it away.
Well, okay, but Brian, I'm just getting a little confused here. So if no one knew where the trampoline, or let's take something else like an umbrella, like in a bad storm, an umbrella impales a roof. So if we have no idea who it is, you're going to turn it into your own insurance, and there is no one for them to go after. What happens?
That's a chargeable claim.
God, that's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's just another claim. It would definitely be a chargeable claim on your record.
But with the car, as you have educated me multiple times, if an umbrella went through my car or a deer ran into my car and I turn it in, they can't raise my rates.
That's right. So
that's nuts.
Yeah. Auto insurance comprehensive claims in Colorado are not surchargeable.
I think it's crap they do that on homeowners then.
Yeah, it doesn't happen on home. I would love it. That'd be great, but that's not how it works.
That's nuts. Pete, you got any more questions for him?
No, I was just going to tell you, so in addition to the roof damage and the drywall inside, also her fence was damaged because it rolled through that too. So just file it all together with her own insurance.
Well, okay, here's would be my...
Go ahead, Brian.
Here would be my best advice for you, just from the situation we just said. I don't want to be talking out of both sides of my mouth here.
Have the neighbor, if the neighbor's willing to play ball.
Do it first. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
That's what she was going to try. Yeah, she's already, like I said, she met him at 4:30 this morning as he was trying to pull it out of her roof. So
I like that.
He knows about it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. He was up on the roof and didn't even mention it to her.
That was her. That could have turned ugly real quick.
You know what I would do? Yeah. I'd do exactly what Brian just said. Go talk to him. Say, hey, would you call your insurance company and let's get this figured out? If he doesn't, then you got to turn it into hers. And then hopefully her insurance company attempts to subrogate and it goes through and basically, clears her, if you will.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Hey, by the way, Brian Burns, Compass Insurance, quote compass.com. I don't care what kind of insurance you're looking for. These guys shop anywhere from 10 to 30 different companies. I don't care if it's workman's comp. It could be auto insurance, home insurance, any form of business insurance, anything out there these guys do, and they're going to find you the best rates, and more importantly, they're going to make sure you're covered. Brian, I appreciate you coming on as always.
You guys, I think I'm staying on here for...
oh, you are for Thuc. Oh, by the way, did you get to look at that? I'm going to recap after this break. Did you look at it?
I did, and I've been talking with her, so we can kind of fill you in where we're at.
Awesome. Hold on. This one's going to be good. Everybody hold tight. Well, I went long as hell on that. Shut up.
Hello, Mary. It's Kelly over at the Tom Martino Show. So unfortunately, our real estate attorney is out all afternoon, but
the most beautiful countertops you can imagine, theartofgranite.com. Mitch Floria, he doesn't even mark up the different slates, whether it's granite, quartz, marble, you name it. He doesn't mark it up. And if he doesn't have the exact one you want, you can go around to these huge places downtown that just have thousands and thousands of different slabs and use his wholesale account. He doesn't mark it up. All he charges for is installation and the fabrication of the most beautiful countertops you can imagine. We have used Mitch in our home multiple times. I promise you're going to love them. And right now, if you get the kitchen done, which is at a great price, you get the bathroom for free. He also has a line of cabinets and sinks. Oh, it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Theartofgranite.com. Now, we talked to him probably a half hour ago on that crazy call, but Joseph A. Lazara, he is a criminal defense attorney, DUI, shoplifting, assaults, domestic violence, child abuse, murder. He does it all. He knows all the judges. He knows all the DAs, and that means everything. Because if you're guilty, he can get the best deal out there. He's respected. And if you're innocent, he can get in front of a jury and fight for you. You ready for his phone number? We've done the shopping for you. Please put this phone number in your phone right now. You do not want to have to Google attorneys near me when you're sitting in the can. 303-429-6200. Joseph A. Lazara, 303-429-6200.
She was a big minority woman.
Thanks for calling the Troubleshooter Show. Please hold a moment.
Good afternoon, Tom Martino Show.
Hey, play the new soundbite. Someone on YouTube wants to hear about the big, heavy woman or whatever it is.
A fat minority
lady.
Woman.
What was it?
She was a big minority woman.
That's it. MR or Mr. B, I interviewed him for a little bit.
Yes, I heard the call, sir. You can definitely send us an email with your complaints, and I can forward it on to Tom directly. But I can't tie up the line if you're not going to go on air. Okay, well, sir, if you'd like to go on air, I can certainly put you on air. If not, then you can send us an email to help@troubleshooter.com. Okay, bye-bye. I'm going to sit there and listen to you.
What was he bitching about?
Oh, Tom is so mean to the callers, and, you know, he doesn't understand, doesn't let them speak.
Was it the crazy lady and the daughter-in-law?
No.
Oh.
It was the big minority woman.
It was a big... Who works at Walmart. Or no?
Lowe's.
Home
Depot?
Lowe's.
One of those two.
It's either Lowe's or Home. Home Depot. I'm going to go with Home Depot.
Yeah, no, why not?
Because I knew we had an angel there. And all I'm thinking is, we'll lose our angel if we ask them to please tell us who the large minority woman is that works the front. That told Drew they will install the window air conditioner.
She was a big minority woman.
Who exactly told you, Drew, that they would install the air conditioner?
She was a big minority woman.
Oh, okay. I'll send that over to our angel. Suzanne, reach out to our angel right now and see if that Home Depot has...
She was a big minority woman.
Working the front counter. Oh, he's something.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
I don't know which one's better. Which one do you like better? The number 2 is pretty
I'm
damn
a fan
good.
of poop jokes. So,
yeah.
Number 2 is going to win. Always.
Number 2 is pretty damn good. Yeah. Now, it would be great if it was a big minority woman that went number 2.
There you go.
Grubhub's here.
By the way, I did have an interesting call on Rose.
On Rose?
Yes.
What? Who's Rose?
The neighbor.
The one that triggered the Amber Alert.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so an old neighbor of hers called from a few years ago.
Really?
And she didn't want to come on the air because she's fearful for her safety because they know her voice. And apparently the son shot a couple people, fled in his mom's car, and triggered SWAT team galore at the house.
That's what happened with the kid?
For 5 hours.
Where did she go? Did she just hang up? She probably heard me talking about the last 2 wackos, huh?
No, I don't think so.
10 seconds.
She first sent me an email and then called.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. We've got 2 lines open. I'd love to hear from you. 303 Martino. By the way, as you know, that number works on or off the air. And if you're listening to this on podcast, one of the tens of thousands that listens by podcast every month, please spread that number around. If someone needs help, we have helped a lot of people in Georgia lately. Don't ask me why, but it's turned out that way. But 303 Martino and then help, H-E-L-P, at Troubleshooter.com. Sometimes we'll even get back to you really quick. Now, Fook called in yesterday. This one is crazy. I'm going to recap it quick. But Brian Burns, the owner of Compass Insurance, one of our angels when it comes to insurance, has kind of been working behind the scenes. But in a nutshell, Fook reached out to American Family for commercial insurance on a building. After she reaches out to him, about 10 days later, they call her back and they take payment for a full year of coverage on this commercial building. Somewhere around $3,300. I saw the receipt myself. 30 plus days go by. So now we're like 45 days after she has talked with them. She canceled her other coverage on the building. A different insurance company canceled it. Then there was a hailstorm. And Thuc, I do forget this. Why did you think you had hail damage? Did you see a neighbor or did someone think you had hail damage? How did that happen?
Hi, yes. I was there on the hail day, so I saw it happen.
I got it.
But then, like I saw it, but I was working. So the next day, so the guy was one of my customer. And he's also a roofer guy too.
So the roofer, who's also a customer, went up and checked it out and saw the roof damage.
Yes.
Okay, so then listen to this, folks. I got you. Yeah. Hold on. Then she knows she has damage. A roofer looked at it. She calls up American Family, not the agent. She calls up American Family's claim number, talks to him. They give her a claim number, or we thought was a claim number, and said someone will be getting back with you. Then, that evening, that happened during the day, that evening she gets a call from the agent, who, by the way, I guess is part of the Vietnamese community, and that he's kind of like the go-to in the community, right, Thuc, in order to get insurance, or at least you thought so.
Yes, he called in and said my insurance was never active.
Yeah, so he calls. Now listen to this. 45 days goes by since she made a payment in full. She canceled her other coverage, which she had until what she thought was new coverage by American Family. 45 days. Then this all happens. They still haven't refunded her the money. In other words, they took her payment. Then they claim they never gave her insurance. So Brian Burns looked into this for us over at Compass. He has helped us out with calls like this, not necessarily just like this one. For years, when I called yesterday, Brian, I couldn't imagine in a million years why American Family, or more in particular, the agent, wouldn't be held accountable for this screw up and have to pay for it. But what did you find out?
So I did, and I've been talking with Duke a few times. We've already been discussing this, but I called a contact that I have over at American Family, not an agent, but just someone that works in the corporate area, and so just asked them if they could look into it. And they looked based off of the policy number and account number that I was able to get off of that application, and they concurred there's no policy that exists. And I said, well, here's the problem. I went through it all. She made a payment on this, and so I have them. I lodged a complaint with American Family so that they can look at it. But then I asked Duke, and she has, escalated this through the Division of Insurance. There's a complaint out to Division of Insurance as well.
That could be a big thing in this case.
That could be the nails in the coffin for American Family on that one, because I think this is one of those few occasions where there's some teeth to this. Now, I will tell you, after talking to her, she does not own this building, so it's kind of a strange lease setup that the landlord is requiring Duke to insure his building.
Which is even worse now, because now if she would have to come out of pocket over this.
Right. If there's truly damage. Here's the thing. I told her my recommendation, as we're waiting for the Division of Insurance and then this complaint to escalate, what I recommended to Duke was that she call someone on your referral list. I said maybe Excel Roofing, or whoever you guys would recommend, and have them go look at this roof, because I don't even know if this roof is how damaged it is. You know, this is somebody that's a client of hers, but that was just there and said, hey, you want me to get up on the roof and look?
What excuse could an agent have, forget about the company now, for taking payment and then 40 plus days later, never refunding, never communicating anything to her until there's a hailstorm in a claim, then saying, hey, you don't have any coverage? What excuse could they possibly give that the insurance folks would buy?
Here, you know how I always am trying to look at the other side of things? This one's really hard, because I mean, it is pretty clear cut to me. She has a receipt with an account number and a policy number that now, once she makes a claim, is saying it's not issued. It looks very bad for the agent to me. Very bad.
Kelly, we reached out to this agent yesterday, and you told me this guy was going to come on the air and tell us all about it.
So basically, he was on his way, like literally going out. And so I said, is it good if I call you tomorrow morning and I can get you and the customer on? And he said, yes, that would be fine. Give me a call tomorrow morning.
And what happened?
So I called 3 times this morning, and it only rolled over to the 800 number.
Wait a minute. This is a pillar. Wait a second, Kelly.
Hold on.
This is a pillar of the community, the Vietnamese community. This man is a pillar.
So I finally got through to them, to their receptionist. She put me through. I left him a message, but asked Duke what he did, like, for his assistant.
Hold on, I want to hear this. We got to take this break, but we're going to hear. So in other words, they reached out to Thuke and told them something?
He spoke with his assistant.
I can't wait to hear this. You know what? Maybe we need to light up this pillar of the community. That's crazy.
Well, I missed that. What happened?
So it's insane, man.
I caught that story, but I just missed that last part.
The last part is, so he was going to come on air today and explain what happened. And, of course, what happened is he fucked up.
Right.
So he decided not to come on. But then he had his assistant call up the caller, Thuke, and say something that I'm assuming was really bad. Like, oh, we're going to sue you or something. I mean, who knows what it is. For windows, siding, doors, and more, K&H has what you're looking for. In fact, they have since 1956. If you're looking for new siding, new windows, new doors, new sliders, you got to give these guys a call. They'll come out, free estimates. They're not there to try to twist your arm. They're there to show you their great products like Alpin Windows. You realize Alpin Windows are high-performance products. Super insulating, made in Colorado for people in Colorado. Thermally efficient. They're absolutely gorgeous, just like their siding products, Hardy and everything else. If you're looking to update that house, bring it into the 21st century, give these guys a jingle. KHWindows.com. That's their website. KHWindows.com. You want to be a landlord but have no idea what you're doing, but you want to make some money being a landlord and being an investor in property. You call up Barry Miller, VesteraTurnkey.com. This guy knows where the hot areas are in the country. He knows what a good house is. He finds the hot area, finds a home for you. You buy the home. He finds the property manager. You collect rent as it appreciates because it's a hot area. A couple of years, you sell it, you make the big bucks. We have listeners literally making 40 to 50% annual returns, and Barry's been doing this for over 30 years. Check him out at VesteraTurnkey.com. Yeah, this poor woman, at what point are you misled into thinking you have coverage? Like, really, what is that time frame? Like 10 days? When you pay somebody for a full year of insurance and you don't hear a damn word for them until you put in a claim, then they say you don't have coverage, but yet they never refunded the money. They never said jack shit to you. At what point are you either trying to steal her money and hope she doesn't have any kind of incident for a year and then just pocket the money, or you're a total screw up and simply don't do anything?
Mark, did AmFam say that she's not covered because they never received payment?
I'm going to ask Brian. No, the payment is not the problem. But they're saying they didn't want to give the coverage.
Oh, they didn't.
So the agent basically alluded to you're binded, ready to go, but AmFam rejected it. And
okay.
In fact, hey, tell Brian I am going to come back to him on this one real quick when we come back.
But somebody cashed the check, right?
Hey, Brian,
The credit card went through over a month ago.
Back, so just hang on for me. All right.
Never refunded. Still, I don't even think it's been refunded.
That should be prima facie evidence that she has a policy.
Who gets paid?
And let me
The
tell you,
agent?
Brian's pretty liberal when it comes to the insurance company, meaning he always gives them the benefit of the doubt. So when he's saying this is fucked up, it's fucked up. You know, if it's 5 or 6 days, he warned me. I actually was shopping State Farm for our house out here on renewal, and they gave me a great price. He goes, yeah, none of our carriers can beat that, but he goes, don't cancel. You can always do it in reverse. In other words, when you cancel your homeowners after you get a new one, you can cancel as of a month ago, whatever it is, and you'll still get the full refund. And I said, okay. Sure enough, State Farm came out and saw the size of our trees, and they didn't want to insure the property. So if I did cancel, I would have been totally screwed.
That sucks, dude. That's good advice.
I hate insurance companies. I think they're thieves.
They are.
hurt in a car crash? Get John Fuller on your side. Call Fuller.com.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off or taken advantage of. We got some lines open. 303 Martino. I want to hop, though, right back to, hey, Brian Burns, Compass Insurance, when you talk to them over at American Family on her behalf, I mean, what did they think of the situation that one of their agents literally had her money and no one refunded her for that many days? Did they just basically have no comment?
It was pretty, yeah. I mean,
did they seem even surprised?
The reaction that they were thinking it was very confusing, but they did not throw their agent under the bus. Of course, I didn't really get a whole lot more out of them other than that they're going to escalate it and put a complaint in to see if they can get more information. But I really think the Division of Insurance is going to have the bigger, response. But they're going to have to relay some kind of answer to them, and I don't know how they're going to do that.
And this is what errors and omission are for. I mean, this is why Compass, you guys, have O&E insurance, and why whoever this agent is supposed to have it. I would assume he's got it.
Oh, they have to have it.
Yeah.
Farmers will require it. It's going to be through Farmers, as a matter of fact. I'm sorry, American Family.
American Family. Let me ask you about payments real quick. If it is someone like you that shops 20, 30 different companies, you work with numerous companies, you take numerous payments. In fact, usually when I pay you for our auto and stuff, you guys have my credit card number on, you just run it for the year or whatever. How does that work, though? If I'm paying my homeowners like I do yearly through you, do you take it, then it goes in your bank account, then it goes over to whoever, American Family in this case? How does that work? And does it work the same way with the captive agent?
Yeah, so it's different with the captive agent. For us, we do have set up with some carriers what's called an agency sweep, where we could say we took your payment and then they would sweep it out of that account. It's a separate account that you don't commingle your own funds in, obviously. We very rarely use that, only if someone is in a pinch and just can't, doesn't have a credit card or something. But usually what we do is any kind of payment someone makes, we'll do it directly into the carrier that we're working with.
So should we assume that American Family had this money, not the agent?
Well, yeah, with the captive, it's a little different. They have a sweep account. So you have an account basically that you take payments and then the company pulls it out of that account. It doesn't, based off of what I see, I don't know, it's confusing because he took a payment, but there's an actual billing account number that seems like it would be directly with American Family. So,
well, it talk about confusing. No one let her know. Now, hold on one second, though. Kelly, you reached out to this guy. What was his name, this agent?
John Vu.
So John Vu, who apparently is a pillar of the Vietnamese community, said he'd come on air today and explain everything.
Correct.
Today, he's gone.
Ghosting us.
He went dark. So after yesterday, though, he had his assistant call Fook.
Well, I'm not sure. You're going to have to...
Who called you yesterday?
Hi.
Hi, who called you?
So I call his agent. I call his agent and ask her to, you talk to him or something, because I asked her to give me all the paperwork that I've been up or sign all the copy, give it back to me.
Yeah.
And she say, when she get back to the office, he told her to give everything back to him, and he wouldn't let her give anything to me.
Wait a minute. So you asked for all the paperwork, and she was ready to give it to you. She got it all together, and this is his assistant, his secretary. Who is this?
So yeah, I can say she is his assistant.
Okay, but hold on. So it's his assistant, someone that works for him, right, at the agency.
Yeah.
So she gets everything together, and you were going to go pick it up.
So from at first she all the papers she bring for me to sign and stuff. That's what she bring it to me. That's why I asked her that is there the way that you can give me all the paper that you gave me before?
Yeah, because you lost them.
Yeah, not clearly. Like they never give it to me. They just bring it to me. But now I say I want all the paperwork. Everything you bring to me before, just give it back to me. I need that.
And she was going to do that.
Yeah, she say let she get back to the office. But when she get back to the office, he say that like turn everything into him, and I would. She cannot give anything to me, and then she took back her assets or something to my account or something.
This is insane. What do you guys think of this? I mean, I hate to even go like this. I'm going to put her on hold. I don't know if the guy was trying to keep the money in the sweep account. Why wouldn't he give her the information about her stuff? Why would he keep the money for 40 days? I want his name and phone number of that agency put up on this screen. We've got to dive deep into this. I need listeners to help on this. This guy told us yesterday he'd come on. Thuc is facing a lot of damage. And I'll tell you what, if I paid Compass or any insurance company 45 days ago and they never told me I didn't have a policy, I would be hellbound. That is some bullshit.
Right, I'm emailing you a link to his website, his webpage at MFAM.
Is his name on there?
Oh, yeah.
He's a pillar of the community.
It takes a minute because it has to go out of my Outlook to Google and it takes a minute to make that connection.
You know, this one's so important, please. If someone gave you an estimate that just seems outrageous on a new furnace or a water heater or an air conditioner or anything home service-wise, you got to call Fix It 24/7. 100% free second opinions. Personally, I've seen water heaters sold at $1,400 installed, and I've seen water heaters, the exact same brand, same model, same gallons, same, for $6,000. Imagine that. You have to get a second opinion. It costs you nothing. You're crazy not to do it. And I don't care what it is. Get a second opinion on expensive stuff. Go to fixmyhome.com, call them up, tell them you want that free second opinion. Fixmyhome.com. Okay, you sent me the...
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure it's the same one. John Vu, American Family, 975-999.
975. Should be a Colorado.
303.
Oh, okay.
975-9999.
I already closed that page.
Oh, okay, let me look. Is that what you sent me, though?
I sent you a link.
Okay, Kelly sent that. I got it.
I sent you a link to his.
I understand. Dimitri, here we are. AmFam. I just want to make sure that's the right number. Yep, that's it. Cool. What I just love, that's the problem with these people. They become, because he's Vietnamese, he earns the trust of other people because he can speak their language and they live in the same community. Mm-hmm. But then he fucks up their lives like this.
So
either on purpose or not.
Right.
He's ghosting her now.
Yeah, well, he's scared. I just didn't comprehend. Where did the money go? Where's it at?
Well, it's either in what Brian said would be a sweeping account, meaning if you're the agent for AmFam, how he understands it is the payment is taken by the agent and it's in the bank account of the agent, a certain bank account that apparently they don't commingle. Who knows if they do or not? I don't know how that works. It sits there. Then they authorize a sweep, meaning AmFam corporate can request that money from the bank and sweep it into their corporate account. So we don't know where the money went. Did it ever go to AmFam or did it stay in the sweep account? I don't know.
Right, so it's in limbo then.
So,
well, the only place we know it's not is in her bank.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gone, and either AmFam or the agent has it.
Yeah.
And somebody didn't push a button, basically.
Hey, check your email. She got a text. She sent you a text
Follow through on what they were supposed to do.
It's just,
from AmFam.
this has happened more than once where, you know, the pillar of the community screws the community.
you have to be listening.
I got to swap out this commercial. Did he have any, did he do all his spots? What is today, Thursday?
Yeah. Hey, Kelly, you want to try calling Alice?
Yeah, I can
He's
do that.
way behind.
Where did I put it?
Here.
We are slow. Hi,
Yes,
Alice.
JFK was banging.
This
Marilyn
is Kelly.
Monroe.
I'm
No
calling
doubt
from the
about it.
Tom Martino
Or did they
Troubleshooter
get
Show.
No.
And
But, I mean, I think everybody knew it.
Have Deputy Doc here, and he wanted you to call in regarding Direct Express. Okay, perfect. Hang on.
Always drive the right way.
I listen to Dan Kaplis.
With Dan Kaplis. Afternoons at 4 on 630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. I'm just like so, I don't know. Sometimes people say I go over the top, but really I don't care. You know, this guy's supposed to be, the pillar of the community. He gains the trust of people, and I'm not saying he did this with any nefarious intent, but I got to tell you, this whole thing stinks to high heaven. It is the craziest story I ever heard. There is no one out there that has made an insurance payment for a full year, then 45 days later, or whatever the amount of time is later, way over a month, all of a sudden you turn in a claim over a hail storm and then find out you don't have insurance. So in my opinion, this is my opinion, John Vu, and I'm allowed to have it. I don't know if you're up to scamming the community or if this is a mistake. But when you tell us yesterday you're going to come on the air, then not only do you ghost us today, you start ghosting your own customer, who now is really in a bind. I suggest you call Thuke. The Board of Insurance already has the story. American Family already has the story. Where's her money, John Vu? Where's her money? Come on, face the music. Tell us your side of the story. Why won't you? You were going to yesterday. You told Kelly. Kelly, am I crazy? Or did he say he'd be on today?
He did.
John Vu, you're making this look really bad. How many customers do you have that think they have insurance right now that have none? If I personally was listening to this and you were my agent, I don't care if it was car insurance, commercial insurance, like Fuchs, or homeowners insurance. I would be calling American Family right now and verifying I had coverage. And I suggest everybody out there does that if you use John Vu. Thuke, we're going to stay with you through this. Who's a deputy on this? Who's taking lead? We'll figure that out. And a lot more. We got another hour. I'm going to go take some blood pressure meds. Do you think...
Yes. I do. Dr. Joel Cherdak, Cherdack.
What a jerk.
Cherdak.
Did we assign that to anybody,
like,
Kelly?
Using cat, Herdack. And it's 720. Yeah. 720-583-1648. Yep, you got it. Okay, sounds good. All right, you too. Bye.
Kelly, is anybody on this, on hers? I know Brian Burns was helping her.
Yeah, but we don't have a deputy assigned.
Okay, I want Dimitri. Would you send the info? Dimitri, you really don't have much to do until we hear back from the insurance board. You might want to reach out to Brian if we don't hear back from them quickly, and then you can light them up. They might be quicker to respond to it, getting something from us compared to her. Because Brian did not do that part. She actually did.
I want to make sure, I wasn't here yesterday,
Sure,
so I
go
want to make
ahead.
sure I understand the problem.
Yep.
She has a legitimate claim on that she wants to make on the policy for
I'll send
damage
you
to the
everything.
building, right?
Yeah, send them all the photos too. Yeah, so what happened was she has coverage from another company. She calls up this guy, the pillar of the community, and he puts her into an American family.
Yep.
Okay, so she talks to him. 5 days later, he goes, all's good, this according to her, all's good for the entire year. It's $3,000, whatever. So she gives him a credit card number. He bills her. She's paid in full for a year. Month and a half goes by. She's at work at the building. It's hailing like crazy, that big hailstorm we had. And one of her customers is a roofer. He said, you want me to go see if you have hail damage? So he goes up, says, yeah, you got hail damage. You got to put in a claim with your insurance company. So she calls up American Family's claim, and they say they take her information, and next thing you know, the agent, not American Family, is calling her back going, you never had coverage. They declined the coverage. 45 days later, after she paid in full for a year.
Has American Family Corporate responded to her at all?
Brian Burns called over and opened up a case with them internally to look into everything, including the agent. Where he thinks this is going to go is the agent is going to be held responsible, and the claim's going to be ended up paying by the errors and omission insurance.
But we don't know what AmFam Corporate has to say.
Not yet.
Okay.
Brian will figure that out.
Oh, really?
Well,
okay.
yeah, because he put in an internal complaint with them.
Okay.
They opened up a complaint to look into it because they couldn't explain to him why anybody would pay for the full year and no one tell them they're not covered, nor do they get a refund.
Sure.
Nothing. I mean, no information. This John guy sounds like a complete. He's either a moron and shouldn't be in the business, or it's more fair. I don't know what the answer
Maybe
is.
he just made a mistake.
Yeah, maybe so, but now he's ghosting and doesn't say anything.
I agree with that part of it.
That's what he should have done was come on and go, oh my goodness, we made a mistake. We forgot to refund her money. We forgot to tell her. And that's why he has insurance.
Yeah, no.
That's called errors and omission.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it may not be nefarious, but I think that not.
He's making it look nefarious at this point,
And maybe, I'm not.
in my opinion.
I don't know about the culture, but maybe losing face is very difficult for a Vietnamese gentleman.
I don't know, but he told Kelly no problem. He'd be on today to explain everything. And then he went dark. And not only that last part that Thuke said really concerned me. So the last part, she said she talked to the secretary or whoever, his assistant, and she said, can you get my whole packet, all my policy together? You gave it to me once and I lost it, or whatever she was trying to
John
say.
said don't give it to her.
Yeah, and then John said, no, bring it all to me. Don't give her anything. And that happened today or yesterday.
That's the part that makes me concerned.
That's screwed up.
Yeah. Is it possible that AmFam said to him, you screwed up, you need to take care of it, and he didn't want to come on the air and say that?
Well, what's really possible is the commission here, what do they call it? Is it the insurance commission? I think it is.
Yeah.
They can come and tell AmFam they got to pay it. Then AmFam will probably make that guy put it on his errors. But wouldn't you think you had coverage? It really made me think. I pay yearly for my car. I pay yearly for everything. If a month and a half went by and Compass never reached out to me to tell me that I didn't have coverage and they still had my money, I would go crazy.
Yeah. And you know what? Every time I buy insurance, I get a paper copy in the mail.
Yeah. Well, usually I don't anymore because I chose paperless on everything. Yeah, because I get a discount for paperless.
I like to have the paper in front of me.
Yeah. I don't think.
The stuff like this.
The only shit I get in the mail now is just crap.
And then, what if you're somewhere and you get stopped by a cop and you don't have cell service? How do you prove you have insurance?
Well, I print them out.
Well, that's what I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I download the PDF and print it out.
Hey, let me ask you guys something. I've got a lady in town that, as a consultant, and she's having landlord troubles in St. Louis.
Yeah, have her call.
Okay, I should.
Yeah.
It's just the short version is her landlord. She doesn't have a lease. It's
Yeah.
a friend.
So it's 30 day.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
implied.
And he showed her apartment while she was gone because he's supposed to be fixing the air conditioning.
Yeah.
And he came back to her and said, I'm not going to fix it. I found somebody that's going to lease it for more. He's not even allowed to be in that apartment when she's gone. Is she?
Well,
Showing it?
I don't know about that part. He's probably allowed in there when she's not there, just being the landlord. I don't know what the lease says about it, but I do.
No lease.
In Colorado, if there, well, you're saying there never was a lease and it went
There's no paper.
ever, even old, like a year's lease from 10 years ago.
That's what she said.
Well, then it's going to be an implied, if it's in Colorado, it's an implied 30 day, and there's certain rules that stick there. But as far as him having the ability to go in there when he put her in another unit, my gut says her.
That's Bills. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. Frank Duran, the real estate man. By the way, he was in yesterday. I was talking to him last night, and this is important if you're buying or selling a house. People I talk about, I use. I mean, it just doesn't matter. I use almost everybody I've talked about. And, well, I haven't used Joe Lazara, thank God. He's a criminal defense attorney. But anyhow, even Chris Console sitting next to me, they've been to our house. Just great company, and we're going to talk to him. But Frank, I was talking to him last night. When he was on yesterday, I made the comment that Frank Duran sells more homes in 1 month than most realtors sell in a year. So I was talking to him last night. I said, really, Frank, in the last few months, what is your best month? 22 transactions. You realize the average realtor is like maybe 10 homes a year, maybe 12. I forget the stats. Last time I looked, I want to say it was 10. He did 22 in a month, 22 transactions in a month. And he did them for more money. In other words, he brought in more money than what the average realtor brings over listing. So if he listed for 500, he ends up getting 540 for it, or whatever the math is. It's amazing. He is the best realtor I've ever heard of. And I'm telling you, if you want the best, forget about the rest and call Frank. Go to frankduranhomes.com, frankduranhomes.com. Now, I'm going to finish up with Thuk here. Thuk, we've got 3 people helping you at this point. You called up the insurance commission, right? And you filed a complaint.
Yes, I filed a complaint with the DOI.
Yep.
And she, one of the people who work there, email me and say they already contact American Family.
Excellent.
And they are waiting for them to reply to.
So you have done that, but I'm also going to have Deputy Dimitri, hold your hand through that aspect of it. If you have questions, if they don't get back to you, we will reach out to the same people you did, and we generally have a little louder voice, literally. And then you have Brian Burns waiting to hear back from AmFam Corporate because they opened a case. What I really want done is that claim paid. Did you get new coverage, by the way? Did you get a quote from Brian, or are you working on that?
Yeah, we're working on that right now with Brian and Jennifer.
Excellent. Good. Let's just keep it that way because it's important to get it covered. Now, I want to know your impression of John Vu. He's Vietnamese, and he seems to, you used him because he's kind of part of the family, if you will, a pillar of the community, I keep saying. What do you think of him now? I mean, do you think this was nefarious? Do you think he just made a big mistake? What do you think? And this is purely an opinion, given that you paid him over 45 days ago, over $3,000 for over a year of coverage, and now you find out Over a month later, you never had coverage when you call American Family to report a claim because of hail damage. I find it remarkable that he is either that inept or that it's not nefarious, but that's my opinion. I am curious, what do you think?
First of all, like I say, I want to support the community too. He's in the Vietnamese community, and I feel it's easier to communicate with the Vietnamese agents.
Of course.
When something happens, that they can help us.
Well, up until, wait, that's true. That's probably very true. Up until you put a claim in and find out you don't have insurance, because now he won't talk to you.
Yeah, I'm really pissed and kind of stressed right now too.
Yeah.
Because when he called and talked to me, I was like, what in the world? Like, he just like, I shoot you guys email between two. So he just like, your insurance never active. We're just gonna give you a refund. How can you just give me a refund? That's it. So
yeah, because you canceled.
Like, you know,
for people listening, she had other coverage. This guy said he could save you money, right? So you went with him.
Yes, I put like my business, my building, my home, and my car. Like I get him whole package, so he making money too, for sure.
Wait,
but
your
now
home?
he screwed me up.
Yeah, he's covering the home, the car, probably everything.
Well, have you checked to see if those insurance policies are in effect?
My God, Dimitri, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Food? Are you sure you don't? Are you sure you have coverage on anything using John Vu?
Yeah, that's what me and Brian try to figure it out, to get the login to access to see, make sure that all the car and the home insurance is covered. Right?
Oh my! I never would have thought to ask her if she had other coverage.
Yeah, so you still haven't been able to verify for sure if your home and cars are covered? Are you still waiting to get that confirmation?
So what that I know of after this situation happened, I called like I say, I've been talking to his assistant. I told her that you have to make sure everything right. Can you check with me? So a few days ago, she say the house and the car, everything good. And I see, ESCO sent me say that, oh, okay, you have cover from American. So I was so scared. So I checked with her and she said everything good.
I don't think I'd trust I wouldn't trust anybody in that office. I would call up American Family Direct, whether it's the claim number or whatever, and say, hey, I need some help. I got to find out if I have coverage because I thought I had coverage through you guys and found out I didn't. So can you please verify? I would have that call. But listen, Dimitri's going to be reaching out to you off the air and just kind of holding your hand through this. I'm hoping we notch up, because it's a commercial roof, I'm assuming the damage could easily be $50,000 without blinking. But whatever it is, I'm assuming we're going to put another notch on our $300+ million with this one, because I do not think what John Vu did was right whatsoever. That's my opinion. I would love for people out there that have insurance through John Vu to call him, and I'm going to give his number out right now. And please make sure, I'm doing this for his own behalf, make sure you have coverage, because as we found out through the caller, she thought she had coverage. She paid in full for a year. 45 days later, when she's got a hail claim, she finds out she has no coverage. So if you have used John Vu, you better call up his office at 303-975-9999 and make sure you have coverage. I do this not to harass him or anything, but as a public service announcement. For goodness sake, there could be drivers out there right now driving around with no insurance if they get hit, or if their car gets stolen, or no liability insurance if they run into somebody, or God knows if they accidentally lose their house, or if they had business coverage through John Vu and American Family. You might not have any coverage. And I say that because of this caller. Thuk, I say it because of her. So please, if you use John Vu, call up. Make sure you have coverage. Make sure you have coverage. 303-975-9999. John Vu, 303-975-9999. And I say that only, and I mean it, only for people that have used them. I don't know what I would do if I used John Vu. I probably, even if I verified coverage through American Family, I would probably ask to switch agents if what she is telling me is true, and this is what happened. And I have every reason to believe her based on everything she sent us. The receipt from the credit card done over a month ago. Everything, a weird policy or a claim number kind of thing on the receipt. It's just very bizarre. John Vu would not tell her there was no coverage on that building until she put in a claim.
All right, Duke, we've got a whole bunch of people working with you, so we'll be in touch, okay? No problem, no problem. You have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy the banh mi. Yes. Yeah, I love banh mi. Okay, sounds like a plan. Thanks so much. We'll do. All right, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Poor woman. Oof.
Gravinas! I wish I could do that as good as Larry, but here's the bottom line. You need beautiful new siding. How about sliding glass doors? Susanna and I just got one from them about a month ago. They brought out so many samples, we ended up with kind of a high security door for our back patio. It's gorgeous. It locks in so many different places. And just the trim, everything's great. But they have so many choices. And let's talk about windows real quick. They deal with 20 different manufacturers. You realize most companies that sell windows deal with one, maybe two companies. They deal with 20. They have over 50 different lines of windows available. I don't care if it's a fix and flip or an apartment building, or maybe you got a $10 million house in Aspen or Vail. They have got the windows for you. A great company. The longevity's crazy. Everybody's heard of them. Great warranties, great service. Gravinas.com. Gravinas.com. If the guy just screwed up, why not do something? Like turn it over to your insurance. That's what he pays for, that errors and emission. All he's got to do is turn it over. They'll look at it, and they either pay out or not. I'll tell you why he doesn't, because he knows his rates are going to go to hell, because he doesn't know what he's doing, in my opinion. And I can already tell. I can just tell this guy's going to be trouble. I can just tell, and I'm glad he's going to be trouble. So if I overcorrect my ass all the time on opinion, people know why. And I hope he is trouble, because I want everybody to know in that community what's going on over there. And if he did screw up, just do it. Just take care of it. Just handle it, for God's sake. I don't know what other side of the story. When he said he was going to come on today, I'm going, my God, I'm looking at, unless if she literally called up, phonied all these documents, and just made up the entire story. But that's not even correct, because Brian's already called over there and talked to American Family and saw the denial.
Or did it get denied? I missed that part.
The whole coverage got denied, not the claim.
Right.
And you know what this is, Doc? Alice, I assume?
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, Suzanne says it's raining like crazy and hail at the house.
Oh, really? You're down in Elizabeth, right?
Kind of. We're in Douglas County, but yeah, I mean, basically, we're right on the border.
You're near the Pinery, aren't you?
No, we're further south and then east.
Okay.
We're basically east of Castle Rock. In fact, if you hit Plum Creek, the second exit, we're almost directly east.
Oh, I know where you're at.
Yeah. That's right, because you didn't come out. It was Stephen was out. What's the furthest you guys go?
We're getting further and further. So
Local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. 303 Martino. We're going to stick on that one. I got to drop it or else my blood pressure is just my heart's going to explode through my chest. Then maintenance is going to be all pissed at Dragon because there's blood everywhere. It's not going to be a good thing. So I'm going to take Dragon into consideration at this point and stop talking about John Vu. But I promise we will continue to update everybody on that. Meanwhile, Alice, what is going on with you, Alice? We do have a couple lines open. 303-713-8255. Alice, what's up?
Tom Martino, I am so glad to hear from you. I contacted you maybe 2 months ago, and you referred me over to Doc, and Doc has been in touch with me regarding the Direct Express debit card.
Doc, explain the issue. Why did Alice call in at first?
Alice, why don't you tell us why you called in?
Yeah.
Well, because my brother, God bless him, he's not really computer, savvy. So, but what happened, Tom, was back on March, the first week of March, his checking account was hacked by the Direct Express company, and his money, $4,333 has been floating up to this day.
Is Direct Express, is that a subsidy? Is he like on Section 8 or food stamps or SNAP? Is that what that is?
No, it's an application for people who don't have checking accounts. You set yourself up with this company, and you give them the permission to route your Social Security money in to pay bills.
Right. Yeah, I got you. So what ultimately happened? Did you guys reach out to Social Security? Do they know where the money went? I assume Social Security deposited it as always, and then what happened? Did he give the information out to somebody else? What happened?
Well, basically what happened...
He had to go to Social Security office, get them to discontinue the ACH deposit, and they are mailing him checks.
But Alice, why? I'm asking when everything went wrong. I assume for a long time he got his money each month. Is that part correct?
Yes, he did.
And then all of a sudden, he doesn't get his money. Why didn't he get his money?
His account was hacked.
Okay, what do you mean by that, though? Someone used his debit card?
Someone used his debit card.
Okay.
In March, when this thing started, it appeared when he called in to get a balance check, it appeared someone had tried to change his address. Okay?
Got it.
At that moment, they put his address back to where it's been for the last 50 years.
Got it.
And from that point on, Tom, all hell broke loose. A gentleman, when this whole thing went down, a gentleman by the name of Mike Cooper claims to be a member of the Direct Express dispute team.
Yeah.
He called Michael. He said, Mike, I need you to immediately send me a copy of your Social Security card back and front, your birth.
So, in other words, this guy's scamming him 100%. The whole scam is he called somebody that he thought was part of Direct Express, or they called him knowing he was on Direct Express and just okey-doked him.
Yep. And it's going on to this day in Ohio. They are still putting money.
It goes on everywhere. So where are we at
Okay,
now?
so
Here's
the issue. They got in touch with Social Security, as I told them. They're now getting their checks sent to a paper check.
Got it.
So, but still, they scammed them out of $4,300.
$4,300 or
Right.
$400?
$4,300.
So how many months was that?
That was back in March, and it's been ongoing ever since.
But the point is, Mark,
The initial scam, let me tell you this, Tom. The initial scam was $4,333, okay? That's what my
Hey,
brother
Alice,
was out.
I want Doc and you to listen to what I say, and then I want your opinion on it. So,
Okay.
if I don't care if it's Social Security money, I don't care what it is. But if I have a debit card attached to a bank account, and Dimitri calls me and tells me he works with Microsoft, and my computer was hacked, and he can fix it over the phone for $500. And I give him that credit card number, and sure enough, he unfrees my computer and everything's done. Now, if I allowed that transaction, if I allowed that information to get out, whose fault is that? I'm just curious what you guys think on this. Doc, you do this for AARP as well as for helping us here on the show. But really, when is this Social Security's problem? Is this Alice's brother's problem? We know one thing for sure. The scammer is at fault. But who makes up the money if the scammer doesn't show up?
we think it's someone from Direct Express.
You think someone working literally at Direct Express is behind this?
Don't you agree, Alice?
Absolutely.
Do you have their
100%.
phone number?
They have one phone number, and it takes you 2 to 3 hours to get in to contact someone.
That sounds like a real government agency or a real bank, quite frankly.
Okay, so
It's not a bank.
But wait a minute. I'm sorry, Alice. You honestly, Doc, think somebody at Direct Express is involved in this?
It happened multiple times, Mark, where money was, it wasn't $4,300 on one deposit. It was multiple times where when he, listen to this, Alice didn't tell you this, when he asked for a new card, the new card was then hacked.
What does that mean it was sent hacked?
Well,
what he's saying is when Michael get into the system, someone will say, okay, we're going to send you a new card. They also have had us do 4 dispute reports. Each time that dispute report is sent to them, and they'll tell Michael, I'm going to send you a new card. By the time he gets that card and you look at his bank statement that they're sending to him, the money's gone.
I'm just looking up the hierarchy of this company. I mean, to me, here's what it sounds like to me, both of you. It sounds like if someone stole my Amex card, it would be like saying it's an insider at Amex that is literally taking my money and charging my card. This is a massive sized bank. I'm not saying there's not any bad guys on it, but I would assume there's a lot of railings on this highway where the typical person is not going to be able to just scam money that works there. I find that very highly unbelievable, or else we would have this call every hour on the hour.
Well, here's my point. I think to get to the bottom of it, take Direct Express, the small claims court, for $4,300 and let them explain why the money isn't there.
That's not a bad idea to drag him into court, but I just can't imagine
Well, how come when he gets a new card, before he gets the card, the money's gone?
I don't know. Maybe he's okay. I'll give you one idea. Maybe he's got some habits he's not telling his sister about.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
That's not even remote possible.
All right.
So that will come out.
Fair enough. Dimitri, just give me your blush.
Well, look, Direct Express is owned by Comerica Bank.
I know.
And Comerica Bank is a big, big, big deal. So they have security procedures, presumably, that are far in excess of anything I can imagine. So I doubt it's an insider. It's an insider thing over there. I think somebody's just hacked into his account.
I do too. I don't think they work for Direct Express.
They simply log into his account at Direct Express and they see when the new card is being issued.
How did it first happen, Alice? And here's what I mean on that. Like, did he talk to someone? Did someone reach out to him for information? What was the very first thing that happened?
The first thing that happened when he tried to access his balance was this gentleman by the name of Mike Cooper, who is still calling him, asking him questions about what's he doing, yada yada. It's not. I don't know who this guy is. We don't.
What happened? He called him. Keep going. What happened?
At that moment, he called Michael. And he said, "Look here, I can get this cleaned up for you."
Wait! You skipped a very important part, Alice. What did he call Direct Express for a reason? Why did Michael Cooper call your brother?
I don't remember the initial contact with Michael and Mike Cooper, but I can go back and look at my notes.
That would be the beginning of the scam, though.
Well,
I don't know.
Mike Cooper is the beginning of the scam.
That's what I'm saying, and I agree with that 100%. Do we have a phone number that Mike Cooper ever answers?
I left 2 messages for him.
And no one calls back?
No one called back.
So
I'll be happy to try it again. But I just
You know what? Give it to Kelly. Let's try it on air. Let's see if this guy will come on. Now, Kelly, you've got to, if he answers, listen, in Dragon, you can roll your eyes, but I don't think this would be a problem, and you know what I'm talking about. Tell him that he has picked to win a prize, and if he comes on air, he can win a new car. And let's see if he bites. Everybody hold tight.
Take him to court.
No, you're right on that, but it might be hard to track. That bank might not have a connection here in the state.
That was my question. I didn't know. I told her to call to ask you how the best way to.
Banks are weird. Them. I tried to sue a bank and I couldn't find a damn. What do you call it?
A branch?
Yeah. Well, I couldn't find anything on the Secretary of State, so I still sued him, Doc. And it was Wells Fargo. I don't mind saying it. And I served the actual teller that pissed me off. And I ended up winning.
Okay, so we have to find out if Comerica or Direct Express has a physical presence in Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
What?
A registered agent.
Yeah, see if they do. Yeah. Look it up. Dimitri, you've looked up a million of them.
Show, we only do on-air
I don't think you'll
calls,
find
so
it.
in order to get
There's a
any
Michael
assistance,
Cooper.
you would have to go on air.
Joseph A. Lazara, I hope you never need him. That Michael Cooper probably needs him, that scammer. But I don't care if you were accused of a DUI or shoplifting, assault, you name it. Maybe a bar altercation, maybe you got into an accident after drinking. If you're up against criminal charges, you need a great attorney. That's Joseph A. Lazara. Some stuff like DUIs, he actually does with flat rate pricing. And if you go at it yourself, you're crazy. He can help you in the instance of a DUI with the motor vehicle hearing, as well, of course, as a DUI charge, the criminal charge. The guy is great. He's handled so many issues for listeners. And if you're innocent, he knows how to get in front of a jury and fight for you. It's one of two things when you get accused of a crime. You either need the best deal possible, Joe can do that, or you need someone that can convince a jury you're innocent. Joe can do that. 303-429-6200. Please write that number down. I don't want you Googling attorneys near me when you're in the back of a cop car. 303-429-6200. Joseph A. Lazara.
Do you have Mike Cooper's phone number at Direct Express?
That's the Michael Cooper that used to play for.
Okay, yeah.
Or for the Lakers.
Oh, Michael Cooper, there's got to be 8,463,214 Michael
I found
Coopers.
a Michael Cooper doing business as Direct Express.
Did you really?
A trucking company out of Arkansas.
Oh, a Direct Express trucking company.
But it just says Direct Express.
That's funny. Well, hey, Kelly.
Let's call him.
She's working on it.
Give, yeah, I want Kelly to call him up. Are you going to be able to call him? Do you have the number?
Yeah, she's working on it right now.
Oh, she might be talking to him. That'd be great. Remember, he won a car. Make it sound real. It's a Ford Escort.
The Geo Metro.
Were you, did you sign off on that? You were okay with that?
As long as you tell him he's on air, I don't care.
That's what I figured. It's a good loophole. You should have told him he's got to answer the question of questions.
Has Drew gone number 2 yet?
Has Drew gone number 2? As Doc said, if he hasn't, he's dead. So it's either one or the other. He's either taking a shit or he's dead.
I think by now he probably has.
I'm going to Google, what is the longest someone has not gone number 2?
The world of information at your fingertips. We're trying to figure out.
What did we do before Google? I mean, we just sit around thinking of this stuff.
We had to go to the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Who is it? Do you have a phone number for him?
And I assure you, they couldn't answer that question.
Corporate Creations Network, Inc., and they're up in Fort Collins.
I'm trying to figure out how to ask Google in the best way. So I put, what is the longest a human hasn't taken a crap? Okay, anybody guessing? Any good answers here? Here comes AI.
11 days.
3.5 weeks.
Survey says, okay, now I disagree with Doc in everything he's ever said. You ready for this? The longest documented time a human has gone without defecating is 13 years.
What? Well, they probably got a stoma bag.
This was due to Hirschsprung's disease, a condition causing intestinal blockage, and it happened to an unnamed U.S. man who was 29 years old. His colon stretched over 20 feet and contained over 40 pounds of fecal matter, filling 3 buckets. Fuck.
Imagine how he felt afterwards.
See, Doc? You're laughing and saying Drew could be dead. His colon could be growing by the foot right now.
Except he's a skinny guy.
Holy shit. Hirschsprung's disease.
Yeah.
I would not wish that upon anybody. There's a picture of it. Oh my goodness, it happens with babies.
Yeah, it's kind of like irritable bowel syndrome.
Nerve cells are missing from the muscles in the baby's colon, preventing stool passage.
Well, because you don't get that peristalsis.
What's amazing is that your intestines grow to fit it for 13 years. You think he stunk?
No.
I bet.
It's all on the inside.
I bet. Yeah, I bet when he burped, people would clear the room.
Can he fart?
I would assume he can't fart. He's probably farting out his mouth at some point, right?
I don't know. Yeah, because the gas.
See, all this time, I've always appreciated Doc when it comes to medical advice. He said Drew would be dead.
Yeah.
Drew's colon could simply
callfuller.com.
You know, if you don't listen to the show on YouTube, I can't even tell you the information you miss. I'll leave it at that. 303-713-8255. So, Alice, did we reach out, Kelly? Did we get a hold of this Cooper?
So basically, the first number she gave me no longer is in service.
Yeah.
The second number she gave me just goes to an automated voicemail that's not even set up.
Yeah. So, Alice, here's the bottom line. Here's my opinion, at least. Doc's got a great idea. If you can serve them, and they don't have to have anything in the Secretary of State or a registered agent to serve them, but there has to be someone to serve in the state. In other words, if it's Wells Fargo, I ended up serving a branch because I couldn't find the Secretary of State registered agent for Wells Fargo, so I literally served somebody in the branch. So you could do that if there's a branch here. And Deputy D, did you find one?
Comerica Bank has a registered agent.
So
They're up in Fort Collins.
Here's what I would do. In fact, if you want, I'm going to, you mind just sending them the paperwork, the PDF 250 and 249 instructions?
I think that's all she needs is just to hear us say PDF 250, JDF 250.
JDF. In 249.
Or better yet, just do a keyword search. How do I file a small claims suit in Denver?
It's triplicate. There's websites that have it. It's all free. Then you just file it in whatever county. Where are they at?
Well, I would sue them here.
No. What I'm saying,
the registered agent is up in Fort Collins.
Express here in Denver.
No, there is. You don't understand. Direct Express is owned by a big company. They're just like a subsidiary. It's a whole. Here's what we'll do. Get your email over to Kelly, and then if you would, Kelly, get it to Dimitri. Just send him the 2 forms for small claims and then where to serve them if you have the registered agent.
Yeah, I have the registered.
And I would assume at minimal, Alice, it'll get their attention to where they'll actually look into it and figure out if they're going to pay you back. And at best, they're not going to want to be hassled over $4,000 and simply give the guy his money back.
Mark, it sounds to me like it's more than $4,000 because $4,000 was the loss back in March. And now Alice said, if I heard her correctly, that every month since then, the deposits have been stolen.
No, it's fixed now. Yeah, they started getting it regular check, so they get the check out of the mailbox, and then they deposit it or to do whatever.
We should call Michael Cooper.
Hey, Patricia, what's going on with you? Patricia.
Yes, hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. I was trying to locate a phone number you guys advertised for a gentleman that does hot water heaters.
Oh, yeah, Euro Plumbing. That's all they do. I know that. I want to make sure they do them for less than, I think they're less than $1,400. Mention the show. They do them less than $400. Say Mark told you to call. Hold on, though. I want to make sure their new phone number I have right. I believe it's 720. It's really cool. I want to say it's 305,000, but I'm going to find out right now. Hold on.
Okay, thank you.
Tell me that's not a cool phone number, right?
Yeah, it is.
It is. I'm doing
305,000. Easy to remember.
Yeah, it is. That's their old number I see here, but hold on.
Oh, okay. It's
I'm going to give you the old number because I know that'll go through. The old number is 303-668-6844.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure the new number is 720-300-5000, but I might have it wrong. It might be 503,000. But the number I gave you works for sure.
Okay, the 668.
Yeah, what size are you? Yeah, what are you looking for? Just a 40-gallon, 50-gallon? What did it break? What happened?
Just a 40.
Yeah, so the 40-gallon I know is under $1,400. That includes installation. It includes new gas lines, new water lines. It includes everything unless you need code upgrades, and I have no idea if you do or not. And they'll just tell you. And even if it does, the code upgrades aren't that much. It's not like another $500 or $1,000. Nothing like that. It's still probably the best deal in town. Okay?
Yeah, it sounds like it. So it's called Euro Plumbing.
Yep, Euro like European, but it's Euro.
EURO, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
I appreciate the
yeah, and they're on our referral list too, referrallist.com. But yeah,
I was looking up. I'm not that savvy, but I couldn't find it, and so I thought, well, let's call the show and see if you guys still have this person.
Yep, sure do.
That's why I called.
Yep, his name is Dimitar. He's a good guy. Good company, too. Really good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Tim?
I'm sorry?
His name was Tim?
No, his name is Dimitar, but he's got, it's a fairly big company. He's not going to answer the phone. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
You'll be happy, I promise. I got 2 water heaters from them probably, last year, I want to say. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, all right. Thanks, Patricia. Gloria, what's going on with you?
Hi, I have a problem that I don't know if you can help me with. It regards my HOA.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it a condo or is it a home? What kind of HOA?
It's a townhome.
A townhome, okay.
Mm-hmm. And back at the end of May, I called the management agency and asked for a certificate of insurance to be sent to me to see if I have, it's a townhome and they...
Now, hold on a second. I want to make sure we're on the same page. So you own a townhome, right? You're not renting.
No.
And you should have insurance pretty much for everything but, say, the roof. I mean, do you have coverage for your contents, for liability? What do you have, if you have anything, Gloria?
I have, for the contents, an HO6 policy.
Okay.
That I got through Jeremy with Compass Insurance.
Excellent. I know exactly what the HO6 is. So then you reached out to find... Go ahead.
And then I reached out because I wanted to see a certificate of insurance of what the HOA is insured for.
Yeah, and for people listening, the HO6 is basically something that covers drywall in. So, right. And it covers, of course, her liability if she does something that, goes through the wall and ends up creating damage to a neighbor or something. But so what happened when you asked for their policy, the master policy?
Well, it started at the end of May, and I asked for their policy, a certificate of insurance, and I called every week, and every week I was promised, I'll send it on to the manager and we'll send it right out to you. And I never received the whole certificate. All I received was a certificate of insurance that just shows the liability for the board.
Can you send a picture of that right now? Do you have it, or do you have it like an email that you could forward to us right away?
No, I do not.
I think I'd have to look at it. What I do is send it over to Brian at Compass to see what that coverage exactly is. I understand when you read it, it only seems like liability. Did you follow back up with the HOA and say, hey, I'm assuming this is just liability because I don't see anything else?
Well, I did. I did call my management person over there, and I was told to send a written letter to the Alliant Insurance Services in Greenwood Village.
Yeah.
And they would send me a certificate of insurance.
Okay.
Okay, so I wrote a letter. I sent it certified mail, return receipt requested. They have not been able to deliver it. I'm due to have that letter
they can't.
back
They
today.
can't actually deliver it to the address?
Yeah.
What is the insurance company called?
Alliance Services.
Alliance Services.
Alliant Insurance Services.
IANT, right?
ALLIANT.
Yeah.
Right.
And
in
let's see.
Greenwood Village.
Yeah, I mean, they're right there. I mean, as soon as I popped it up, they just popped up. Let's make a call over there. Hold on. D, you want to make a call over there and see if we can figure it out? We don't have to do it on air.
What's the address? We'll just pop over there.
Yeah, it's right here, basically.
Yeah.
6400 South Fiddler's Green. I mean, it's right down the road, literally. Well, a little down the road. I wouldn't hop, skip, and jump. I'd probably drive my car.
I can stop by, or one of us can stop by there right after the show.
Yeah, why don't
I should go tomorrow.
If
you want the.
You guys work it out. We're going to have someone stop over there. So I'm going to put you on hold. We need your address, and more or less, we need the information about your HOA, and then the information about where the unit is, the address. And then one of these guys will stop by, and we'll try to get to the bottom of it. My guess is, though, it is an all-in policy, meaning it's got liability, and it's also, of course, covering the roof and the common areas and everything else. But really quick, are you trying to sell your condo? Is that why you want it? Or you're just being proactive and making sure they got it?
I'm proactive. I want to
Very
make
smart.
sure they have fire insurance.
Gloria, that is so smart. I wish everybody would do that. I really do, because what would stop a bad person in the HOA from taking your dues and not buying insurance? And I don't understand why your complex or your neighborhood simply can't tell you what's going on. I find that odd too. But one of these deputies is going to swing by there, and we're going to update you tomorrow. Make sure you give Kelly all that information. I got to take a quick break. Everybody hold on. Do you need the address?
Yeah, I'll just have Kelly send it.
Well, hold on. She's not going to have it. Let me find it.
Oh, I can look it up. I got to go to a meeting.
Okay, I'm going to email it to you right now.
Great. And I will stop by tomorrow on the way to the show. So we'll have it first thing in the morning.
And I'm literally sending it to you right now, Doc.
See you, Doc. What the hell was it called? Something Express? What was that credit card called?
Alliant Express. Or not Express. Hold on, I'm staring at it, but I can't see it. It's called Alliant Insurance Services, Inc.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah.
I was communicating with BNY Mellon Bank regarding a previous caller.
Got it.
So I didn't even hear this call.
All right, my friends, I got to tell you about a great company, an absolutely wonderful company. Fix It 24/7. Get that second opinion. Someone actually gets a estimate for an air conditioner, they might have a heart attack. I've seen estimates for ACs and furnaces over $15,000, $20,000. That's why you have to get a second opinion. No matter what, get a second opinion. FixMyHome.com charges $0. No trip charge, nothing. Maybe someone wants to sell you a new AC or a $3,000 or $4,000 repair. They'll give you a free second opinion. They'll give you a free second opinion on a water heater, an electrical box, you name it, they'll do it. FixMyHome.com. I love this product, a product that actually pays for itself. QCcolorado.com, the quiet, cool house fan. It sucks all that hot, nasty, hot air, that stale air, right out of your attic, right out of the upper floors, sucks in that beautiful, fresh air from the bottom floors, the basement, even sometimes the crawl space. You get that cool air coming in, get rid of that. The temperature drops 10 to 20 degrees in a matter of minutes. It's unbelievable. People can save up to 90% off those high AC bills. And like I said, a couple seasons go by, this thing pays for itself. And it's quiet. If you have dogs, any kind of dander, any pathogens in the house, this thing will suck everything out and suck that fresh air in. Check them out at QCcolorado.com. That's QCcolorado.com. And then, Chris, you and I are just talking the rest of the show.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark, it's actually BNY Mellon Bank just took over Durham Express. So I found their media relations contact, and that's why I wasn't listening to that call.
Can you imagine having a 20-foot long colon? I mean, you know, we think shit's bad. Think of the worst thing that's ever happened to you. I would assume it's not as bad as not taking a shit for 13 years with a 20-foot colon. Maybe not.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
What? What's the comment?
Can't go number 2 anymore.
Oh, he's...
Yeah.
I don't have that hot. Drew is like you. He can't go number 2.
2 anymore.
Does your first wife still have $1 million life insurance policy and your new trophy wife wants one? Hey, did everybody hear that Cars for Kids now takes land donations?
Oh, really?
Yes. It's now in their new jingle I hear on Sirius XM.
I take land donations too.
Hellcat, I'll give you a poll. I'll give you a poll. That sounds weird. Let me do a quick poll. Let me see here. Dang it. Damn it, I'm running out of poll time. Start a poll. Okay, now I just got to think of a poll. I was going to do a poll, but I guess it's better if I think of a poll first, right? Mm-hmm. Let me think of a poll. I got a great poll. I'm asking for the haters. Here we go. I'll just ask for them. Okay, here we go. I'm asking for a beating, but that's all right. I'll take a beating. I'll take a beating. Now, if it starts getting out of control, I'll pull that damn pole down.
So I'm passing it on to you.
You bastarders. As Tom would say,
Here's
you
your
bastardage. No. You bastarders. No, what's he say? You
Bastages.
bastages. You bastages.
From Johnny Dangerously.
Is that what it's from?
Yeah.
What is that movie? I've never heard of it.
Johnny Dangerously.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's a hilarious comedy from the late 80s.
What's the script?
Pretty much. Michael Keaton plays a gangster, like a big city gangster, a gang leader. That's pretty much all.
I don't read. But is it like Airplane, a slapstick? Or?
No, it's just typical 80s comedy. It was well done. It's entertaining, but it's ultimately forgettable.
Nice. Ooh, I'll take 93%. Nice. Thank you, people. In your face, whoever I banned today. I forget his name. If I remembered everybody I banned. Now, whoever said no, please type now that you said no. I promise I won't ban you. Go ahead.
Rep Ron Weinberg and Gabe Charlambides, founder of Odyssey, on the effect of psychedelic mushrooms on mental health. Thursday on Ryan Schuling Live.
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Hey, I want to talk to Chris. Chris, I love what you guys do at Discount Bath. I can't emphasize this enough. Most people do not discount any kind of remodeling now. And doing the master bathroom, I would argue, adds almost what you guys charge to have it done. So in other words, if your house is worth, well, geez, Frank Duran educated us yesterday, the average Denver Metro is like $700,000.
Yep.
What's a good bathroom remodel? Not just a shower, and I know it's square foot, but I'm talking like, a nice shower and nice new tile floors and a nice new sinks and countertops. I'd say maybe starting around $30,000, $50,000.
Yeah, you're in the ballpark. Obviously, size matters and materials, but yeah, you're in that 30 to 50 range a lot of times.
And I would argue it adds that to your house. One of the first things, we've been looking at homes in Louisiana for years now, and one of the first things my wife does is go to the master bathroom. I swear to God, that's and the kitchen.
Yep, and with today's market in Denver, I mean, it's been 15 years since we've had a down market, so if you're selling, you need to do something.
Yeah, well, here's what we did. We waited so long to pull the trigger. Now we're kicking ourselves because I thought, well, we might sell. But what I should have been thinking is, even if we're not going to sell in the next couple of years, it's going to add the value to the house.
Yep.
So I wish I did that, because both of us sit around kicking each other at this point.
Enjoy it now. You got the value.
Yep. These guys got complete shower remodels starting under $10,000. The best pricing out there. I can vouch for them. You need that bathroom done, please give these guys a call, but it's easier just to go to their website. In fact, you can actually go there, upload some videos, get a quote over the phone.
Yeah, we can do that for you.
DiscountBath.com. Please check them out. They're great people, free estimates, great ideas. DiscountBath.com.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Imagine cutting out the middleman when getting a new home loan. Whether it's a traditional mortgage, a reverse mortgage, a HELOC, or a refinance, CMG Financial is the leader. They're the bank. They can beat almost any rate out there. I'm consumer advocate Marc Mager. If you're looking for a home loan, you need to call CMG Financial. They're going to save you a ton of money. Don't let the other guys fool you. Go to partnerinlending.com. Partnerinlending.com.
Regen Revolution has helped me so much in terms of getting mobile and active again. And now they'll be helping me and you at their new location near Old Town in Arvada. It's an expanded facility, so an even better version of the great care you've come to know from Regen Revolution. The combination of regenerative medicine and more traditional treatment modalities have gotten me back to being able to play sports and exercise in ways I thought I might never do again. Learn more at regenrev.com. That's REGENREV.com.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone who
had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org. Brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on the free iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. On the sidelines of the Asian Foreign Ministers Conference in Malaysia, Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke with his Russian counterpart today about Russia's escalation of attacks in Ukraine and little or no progress made on ending the war.
I echoed what the president said, both disappointment and frustration at the lack of progress in peace talks or in a path forward.
Rubio says the president is considering a Senate bipartisan bill to slap new sanctions on Russia. Crews continue to search for 160 listed missing in Texas nearly a week after catastrophic floods. Aid groups are also helping survivors and those displaced with basic needs and shelter. In New Mexico, officials say the deadly floods last weekend have killed 3 and destroyed hundreds of homes. The women's final is set for Saturday at Wimbledon and follows an upset after American Amanda Anisimova beat out #1 ranked Aryna Sabalenka in the semifinal. She'll go up against Iga Swiatek Saturday. This is ABC News. The clock is ticking once again on tariffs with an extended August 1st deadline for many countries to reach trade deals. President Trump also announced this week a 50% tariff, he says, on copper imports that will kick in at the start of the month, too. ABC's Karen Travers says analysts say a shift in production in the U.S. could take years.
It could take a very long time, but the president says this is a national security issue, that copper is the second most used material by the Department of Defense. It goes into things like radar systems, semiconductors, aircraft, and ships. So for the president, it's a national security issue. You don't want to rely on foreign countries or foreign supply chains. He said America will once again build a dominant copper industry.
Some popular Ritz cracker products being recalled because of a labeling error. Some of those individually wrapped packages say